In the past 2 weeks, I have been making a game called Towers Life, and here is how I did it. So here's the first prototype, and it's clearly very simple, but there's actually a placing system in this prototype, and that's about it. And here is the next update. So the only things that have changed here, and actually think about it, it's quite big. So now there is enemies that come across, and a wave system, and I completely redid the tower placing system and reduced the grid size massively. And you're probably seeing from this prototype that the towers are actually shooting diagonally, unlike other tower defense games where the towers actually aim at the enemies. And I'll tell you why right now. So in most tower defense games, the tower will shoot at the enemies, but it will actually aim at the enemies like displayed on screen. But in my game, the tower will shoot out in different directions and it won't aim at the enemy, meaning that if the tower shoots another tower, the towers will destroy each other, which is the hook of my game. So here is more gameplay, and you see you have to place towers around so they don't hit each other. So in this next update, you can see that I have improved the UI of the shop a bit, and it's mainly graphics in this update. But you can see now there's a coin, so it displays how many coins you currently have. So yeah. So the next thing that I made is, as you can see, if I click on a tower, it displays how much health it has. And you can see on the menu there is 3 towers at the moment: the tower, the wall, and the golden wall. So if you place a tower like this, you see we've got the mechanic. And you see I'm clicking on the tower so it displays the health. Also, the towers are placed so close to each other that you just saw a tower destroy another tower. And the next mechanic is the wall. So the wall will actually block projectiles, and it has about 30 health in this update of the game. So the final thing for this update is the golden wall. So the golden wall doesn't even make it into the final game, but all it really did is it's just a wall with more health. So the next update isn't as big, but it is a cannon. So this cannon will shoot just downwards, and it has a very big delay in between shots, but it deals loads of damage for some of the later enemies. But you see, I just placed a bomb there, and actually that is a friendly bomb, and the friendly bomb will run backwards across the path, and then when it sees its first enemy, it will destroy that enemy. If there's a cluster of enemies, it will deal damage to all of them. So the next thing is an ogre enemy. So the ogre or orc it has lots of health, but it runs quite slowly. So the visuals for the orc change in the very near future, but the concept for the enemy is there. So this next update is a much bigger one. So in this one there is a new tower. There's actually 2 new towers, but I don't actually place it in the recording. And we've got decoration, just some nice rocks and grass around the map. I also halved the amount of price for the bomb because it was way too overpriced at 100. And you can see I've added spiders and the new skin or looks for the orc. So here is all of that in action. So the next small thing is the new enemy. It is a skeleton. So this enemy all around is okay. It's got move speed better than the orc and slime, and it's got more health than a spider but less health than an orc. So these towers, this enemy even, is probably the hardest so far in the game. So in this update, quite a lot has changed. So first of all, there is 2 new towers. So one of them is the greenish tower, and it spins around shooting out of each end. And there's also a blue icy tower which shoots in all 4 directions, and it shoots 4 projectiles at a time. And there's actually, I think, 2 more enemies in this update as well. So we've got the armored orcs, which is the exact same as an orc, but it has slightly more health. And also the baby orc, which has just a tiny bit less health than an adult orc, but it runs much faster. Also, you might have noticed how the walls aren't dying. This is because they were absolutely terrible in the past update, and now they have infinite health and there is no gold tower. There's only one drawback to this, is that you can't destroy them at all. And then I kind of forgot to make another update until actually publishing the game. So here we go, here is the final game. So here we have, let's check out the tutorial menu. So the tutorial's very simple because there isn't really much I actually have to explain. So it says open shop with E, waves spawn immediately, don't run out of lives, and press Q to speed up time, which is another feature I added. And in settings you see there's a volume slider. You can't actually hear the volume on your end, but there is volume there. And you're probably wondering why I didn't make it into a slider. And that's because if it was a slider, I would have had to mess around with player prefs and saving, so it saves the amount the slider has changed. Also, there's a difficulty. I wanted to make the difficulty simple because I just kind of wanted to get the game out at this point. But all the difficulty does is change the health, so let's go medium mode. And it doesn't send you straight into the game, it actually has a map selection. In total there is 9 maps. We've got the 3 grass maps, 3 hell maps, and 3 ice maps. So let's go on to an ice map. So the game is exactly the same, it's just a different map. It also made the maps just a slightly more appealing to look at. So for example, let's take the map the rest of the video's been on. So the thing that makes it look a bit better is there's particle effects, so leaves and rain. I didn't think this would make much of a difference, but in the end I think it really does make quite a huge difference to the overall looks of the game. So that is definitely a positive. So another small thing I added is a missile. So this missile, it has a red crosshair, and then when you click it here, it will land and destroy a bit like the bomb does. So I made this one quite a bit more expensive because you get to choose exactly where you want to drop the missile, which I think makes it a lot better than the bomb. And before I end the video, I'd like to say, if you make a gameplay video on this game and post it onto YouTube, I will put your video in the end card of this video. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.